This is Louis Uredale here with RxMuscle.com with the Toronto Pro Super Show here with IFBB Pro Santana Anderson. Santana, you actually competed today.
I did.
In the Open.
Yeah.
Actually a Fusion Bodybuilding sponsored athlete. Tell us a little bit about yourself first before, these people, we do a wrap-up.
Okay, I would have gone pro 2010 Canadian Nationals as a heavyweight. I've been competing since 2011 on the pro scene. Best showing, I guess, would have been 2 years ago at FIBO. I placed 9th. Tonight, it wasn't my best showing. I think I'd gone back with Hani this year, and we felt, given the off season that I had some personal issues come up, things went as well as they could. Condition was in, just downsized a bit, as you had told me, Lou, and so we'll look forward from here and maybe look at Chicago and possibly the show in the 1st of August in Sacramento.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Like I said, you got good shape. You just need to add a little size to it.
Thicker, yeah.
So starting off with the 212s, 3 guys in that top call out got the placings. Mm-hmm. Mark Dugdale coming in 3rd. Someone may have pegged him as an outsider coming in. It's kind of maybe not really there. I think if he had more leg size, he'd be more formidable. His upper body looked good. What's your take on Mark Dugdale in 3rd?
It's funny. I've looked up to Mark and his physique for quite a few years. My first year, I think, out as a pro, I competed in Tampa with him and a little bit starstruck. So I really like his physique. I think he's put together well. I think the placing tonight was fair, though. He placing 3rd. I think that's where it should have wrapped up for him. So.
Not too long ago, Mark Dugdale was placing 2nd to Tony Freeman at the Ironman back in the 2007 or whatever.
I remember when he was going pro. I think it would have been early 2000s or even late 90s. Was it? Yeah.
So he's still sticking around. Put some placings in.
Yeah, and he seems to be getting better with. I think he's with John. He does his own diet, I think, but he does John's training, and it seems like it's revamped his placings the last few years.
Now, kind of maybe a surprise for some people, maybe not for others in Latin America. Raul Carrasco coming in 2nd place, and they made these guys battle in the. They must have gone through about 6 or 7 rounds of posing. At one point, Steve Weinberger actually said, "Last man standing wins."
Yeah, I've seen them coming out after the comparisons, and they were hurting quite a bit. So they definitely worked for their money tonight.
What's your thoughts on Raul going in there? I think it was a really good mixture of a classic plus size in that 212.
Yeah, those 212 guys, it seems, I almost lean towards the 212 guys in the smaller shows for, what I like in a physique. So, yeah, he fit that bill perfectly.
And Guy Cisternino walk away with his. He just came off that 2nd place in New York. He won the Dallas Europa, and now he got another win going to Olympia. That's some pretty good boon to his momentum heading in there. He's got that physique that's kind of got the size and mass, especially from the back.
Doesn't look like a 212 guy. I was in a room with him getting ready and seeing him pumping up, and yeah, just such nice round muscle bellies. Like I said, classic physique. I really like the 212 class. It's a good looking bunch of guys on the pro stage. So
he has super sick conditioning too.
Definitely pulled off a great win tonight.
Yeah, that was really awesome at the end and making him go through so many posing rounds. They came outside. Guy actually, his head looked like it was going to explode.
Yeah, he came in and collapsed in the room that I was in, and it looked like they put them through their paces tonight for sure.
So we're moving on to the Open now. 5 guys in this final. Some may call it a disappointment for some of the guys. Maybe expectations let down. Other guys stood up to their expectations. Coming in 5th, I think it's kind of I don't want to say it's a disappointment, because I've seen it before from Lionel, and I've seen him look outstanding. Tonight was definitely not a good night for Lionel, be like how he looked. 5th place, I think it was actually a good placing for him, the way he looked.
Yeah, Lionel seems like a really nice guy whenever I talk to him at these events. I've definitely seen him in better shape. I thought in Brazil, I had relayed to him, I thought he looked phenomenal in Brazil. So he's a little down on his condition since the Brazil show, and I'm sure he's aware of that. So yeah, it'll probably be a disappointment in his eyes, but he'll hit a couple more, I'm sure, for his Olympia play.
Well, I've got a pro bodybuilder here, someone active in the circuit. I saw pictures of Lionel posted earlier in the week, and he looked disgusting. I thought, oh my God, it's going to be tough for Juan to beat this guy.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Go from freaking outstanding to where you look like you're maybe 4 weeks out?
I hear you. Yeah, no, you're preaching to the choir. I think, with the human body, things can change, especially with the travel. I'm not sure where Lionel was coming from, if he was coming from France or if he was staying stateside. the last couple weeks. But, if you get stressed out, and I'm not saying for Lionel in particular, but any bodybuilder, in the matter of 4 or 5 hours, you can flatten out your physique and not look like you looked, a week before, a day before, 2 days before. So, a lot of people, I hear on the boards, and they'll say, oh, that guy must have been lazy, he didn't diet for the show or whatnot, whereas he, it could have been just a simple miscalculation, it could have been a variation in his diet. There's so many things that can go wrong those last few hours that, it's at this level, it's hard to beat up on them. You're kind of, picking at straws, so. That's my feeling. I'm on the other side of the coin, though. So
yeah, there's also could you maybe do something drastic? Maybe try. I gotta be fuller, or I gotta be more,
totally,
and then you end up eating some donuts and you shouldn't. Or
it's the old, I think, Dorian Yates quote. It's you can do something to make yourself look 5% better, but it might make you look 95% worse. So you should always err on the side of caution and not try to do anything crazy those last few hours. That's how I feel anyway.
Maybe Lionel will watch this and maybe he'll get some good advice. Maybe he'll calm down. Maybe he just needs to calm down and relax and not get stressed out. Maybe it's other thing. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's just not his day.
And since he's been Dennis James seems to be doing a good job with him. Like it seems like things that come around. But this show seemed a little off for him. So again, we don't know what happened, and not that I thought he looked awful or anything like that, but he has been in better condition, especially in the Brazil show.
If he just duplicates the Brazil show, he'll be looking good in Olympia.
Yeah, I was looking at those pictures, and it just he looked phenomenal at that show.
Coming in fourth, the X-Man, Tony Freeman. Again, not the best I've seen him. Didn't look bad.
No.
Looked really good, but now I've seen him a lot more conditioned from the back, the glutes, the hams.
I can see that.
The front was definitely fuller. His quads have looked a lot fuller, especially at the Olympia level. I think maybe he's just using this as like a tuner show or something.
Could be. He's just got so much muscle. He's a big dude, and he keeps that waist tight, and it's like he has the fountain of youth on his side. It doesn't matter how, he seems to get better with age. So hats off to him, but he has, he's definitely showed a little better condition on stage, but he does a lot of shows in the run of a year too. That's a lot on the body to week in, week out, to be getting on stage and consistently do it. It shows what a high level pro that he is. And he might have been a little bit off, but it was good enough, I think, for the top 5 for sure.
The guy I had in second actually came in third, John De La Rosa. Always he seems to come in like the same every show.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. Yep. Consistently conditioned, size. Doesn't look as big as the other guys because he's a little shorter.
Yeah.
But he's got good shape, fullness, conditioning.
Yeah.
That's a winning combination.
I agree. I love John's physique. I think it's the classic. It's like he's like one of the 212 guys we were talking about earlier, but he's big enough to be the open guy. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have been unhappy to see him in second either. I think he looked great tonight.
And Johnny Jackson actually coming in second. I think he got third or fourth at Dallas.
Okay.
And got second here.
Third behind Fluid.
Yeah. So he moved up here to second. You think he's just aiming for a win. He wants to get in. People, not to take away from anything when he gets in on points, but Johnny Jackson, he's a prime time player.
Oh, yeah.
So he wants to get in on a win.
Yeah. No, of course. I think, this show, the Dallas show, he was probably hoping for on home turf. So, of course, I think any show that Johnny would go into other than the Olympia or the Arnold, even maybe the Arnold, he's going in to win the show. So it'll probably be a bit of a letdown for his placing not to win, but, there's no shame in his placing tonight neither, I don't think.
And Juan Morel came into the show, got the win, got the automatic bid. I think he's shutting it down now at Olympia. New York Pro, everyone thought, man, he's going to win. Then all of a sudden, Big Rammy shows up and just eats all the donuts, takes first, second, and third home.
Yeah.
But Juan Morel came in tonight, held up to all the hype, came in looking phenomenal. He was shredded, conditioned, full, and it got better and better the more he posed.
Absolutely.
Hands down the winner here.
Yep, I noticed that as well. Seeing him pump up backstage, that chest was just so thick and full, and I noticed, he was telling me, I think he's put 10 or 12 pounds of muscle on since I seen him last year in Tampa where he competed. So
he turned pro at 232 pounds at USA's a few years ago, 260 now.
Yeah, and that's what I said. He told me he was 32 tonight, and to be improving by leaps and bounds at that age, it just shows the genetic capability of some people in the sport. I think we're all on the same playing field with everything else, so it shows that some people are just genetically elite in comparison.
Well, not just elite, but a freak. He eats cheeseburgers and fries as his load meal.
I've seen him in Tampa at Five Guys Burgers and Fries, just killing a whole tray in between. Then he came back and he looked amazing.
Any other bodybuilder would be fat.
Oh yeah,
just fat.
Loaded or anything, but it just goes right into his muscles. It gets shuttled in. So yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, that wraps up the Open Men's Bodybuilding in the 212. Juan Morel and Guy Cisternino take home wins. Guy was already going to Olympia. Juan now going on an automatic bid. No longer we have to worry about the points. De La Rosa is actually leading points, so he'll be right there too. Guys, my guy Santana Anderson, fusion bodybuilding athlete here. Look for him in Chicago.
Chicago or Connecticut. There's a show in Connecticut I just heard tonight.
Could be. I'll be in Chicago, so.
Okay, yeah, Chicago. I think that'll work best.
We should go Chicago.
I'll do Chicago.
This is Louis Cerdell with Santana Anderson, the RXmuscle.com.